Welcome to Elevate Your Life and Soul. I'm your host, Marla Kennedy, life coach, mama, and spiritual soul seeker. Each week, this podcast will bring you interviews, stories, and mentoring so you can truly know your value, know your worth, and elevate all areas of your life. Let's rise together. Welcome to episode 8. Today it's me jamming with you, and I'm going to be riffing all about habits for happiness. I can't wait to get into this because a really huge part of my purpose and my mission is to help you get happy and experience and feel joy in your life, because it's just what life's about, and we're having this human experience to feel good and tune into ourselves. I truly believe that, and I'm a big advocate for chasing your dreams and living the things that bring you joy rather than being stuck in ways of life that don't light you up. So this episode is going to be a really good one, and I really hope you find it useful. As always, please send me your feedback. Let me know what you love, what you didn't love so much, and what you want to hear more of, because then I can really tune in and make this just everything for you. And so in this episode, I'm going to talk about the five habits for happiness. Now, Shawn Achor is an amazing author who wrote a book called The Happiness Advantage, and he lists these as 5 habits for happiness. So I thought this is a perfect opportunity for me to share these 5 habits with you in case you haven't read his book. And sometimes it can be time consuming, and we all live busy lives. If you're a parent, it's so hard to find time to sit down and read, and if you're working full time or whatever you're doing, life can get busy and we don't always have time to read a good book. So here I am summarizing these 5 habits for you to just give you a little boost and see what you can incorporate. So let's get into it. Habit number 1 is gratitude. So gratitude's a huge practice of mine, and I generally try to write 10 things that I'm grateful for each day. And I like to write why as well. I think writing why can be really beneficial because it can get you into the feeling of feeling really grateful and bring that meaning back to you rather than listing things off, which is really good too, and it's really useful to just write down. And for the purpose of this episode and the way that it's highlighted in the Happiness Advantage, Shawn mentions writing down simply 3 things that you're grateful for. So it's a quick, easy thing that you can do. It will take you a couple of minutes to get into. Now, I want to point out something with this. They need to be specific things. You want to really drill down into specific things relating to your life, because it's going to be more meaningful. You can by all means do generalized things, but I recommend really reflecting on the day before and picking out 3 things specific to that day that you're grateful for, and preferably each day write something new so that you're really having to look for that gratitude and pull it in and be aware of it, because the more you're focused on gratitude and looking for it, the more things will show up in your life that you'll be grateful for, and it will bring more joy and happiness in for you. So sit down, get a little journal, get yourself a gratitude journal, or if that doesn't feel good, you could even type it up on your laptop, or you could just get a notepad or some scraps of paper, and you could, stick them up, whatever you want to do, but just write down 3 things you're grateful for and make sure they're new things, and do it every day. Every morning's really good. I like to do it in the morning. Sometimes I don't quite get to it, so I'll do it at night. And I generally do it about the day before. If I'm doing it in the morning, I'll reflect on the day before. If you're doing it in the evening, you could reflect on that day. It just, however, you want to make it as easy as you possibly can for yourself. So do it in a way that suits your day. I think that's really important. It's more important to just get it done than to think about the nitty gritty and get so caught up in that you stop yourself from doing it. So that's number one, gratitude, and really focusing on what you're grateful for. The second habit for happiness is journaling for 2 minutes about a positive experience you've had in the last 24 hours. So I'm a huge journaler. I love to journal, and I journal on all different things. But this is really specific, and it's not long at all. I mean, 2 minutes is probably, I don't even think it would probably be half a page or a quarter of a page or something. So it's really short, just a few phrases and ideas about what you're grateful for, and what's been really positive for you over the last 2 days. And you want to write down every single detail. So a really good way of doing this, and a useful way of doing this, is to tune into your 5 senses. What smells did that experience evoke? What sounds did you hear? If you were eating something, what did you taste? If you what did you touch? And what did someone say to you? I mean, that sound, I've just lost my train of thought with the 5 senses, but what did you see? That's the one that I missed. I knew I was missing something, and I just went off on a little tangent. But yeah, so the 5 senses can help you really pin down and get locked in on what you want to journal on. It can help you get more specific. I think specifics are really useful here. And it seems to be a common theme, same with the gratitude, but specifics, it just gets you more into that feeling. And ultimately, feeling is the key to so many things. Feeling will help you feel more happiness and stuff. And it's like if you are into manifesting and you talk about manifesting with anyone, a big proponent of that, a big really important part of that is feeling what you want to bring into your life. So this is the same thing. You want to feel that positivity, and it will elevate your emotional and your mood state. So it will raise you into that level of happiness. Now, an interesting thing that I'd just like to point out, for if you want to get a little bit technical, and this is a bit aside, I've kind of detoured a little bit, and I'll get back to the final points in a minute. But there is a difference between happiness and joy. And while I'm talking about happiness, I'm in this episode, I am making a blanket kind of statement. I'm using them interchangeably, which isn't necessarily the correct technological way of defining them. So happiness is generally known as feeling good when it comes from without you. So you're feeling good based on external circumstances. So because you got to do someone, or you got to see someone, or you received some amazing gift. Whereas joy, it comes from within. So it's this state of feeling good it's not based on anything. It's just you feel it, and it comes from within, and it's a more internal state. So I just want to clarify that, because I think there is a really strong distinction, and the ultimate thing you want to experience is joy. But I realize that sometimes people refer to happiness a lot more. It's a lot more commonly used term and phrase. So I am using it interchangeably in this episode, and quite possibly in future episodes I will use it interchangeably as well. So just, if you listen to this and you keep listening to other episodes, just remember that is a distinction. And there's another word, when you have pleasure, that's another word that has different meaning as well. And that is like, I can't remember the exact definition of that, but it's along the lines of you get a real elevation in your mood suddenly, like this gratification from one thing or something, and then it goes back down. So it's external as well. So the ultimate thing is joy, but as I mentioned, I am interchangeably using happiness and joy, and I hope that makes sense. If you have questions, you can message me, and I can always go into that a little bit more as well in another episode, or I'll always reply if you send me a message or an email to marla@marlakennedy.com. Anyway, so let's get back to the 5 habits for happiness. So we've had gratitude, and then we have journaling. The third one is meditate. Now, if you're not a meditator, this can be quite daunting, and it doesn't have to be. It gets to be easy, and I love meditating. I'm such a meditator. I've been doing it on and off for years, and I've developed a really strong practice, but it's taken me a long time to get to where I am, and a lot of diligence, and a lot of commitment and persistence and incremental steps, like slight edge kind of stuff to get to where I am. And to be honest, since I've had my baby, I've been doing more gentle meditations and a lot more guided stuff, because that's what's been feeling good for me. And I anticipate going back to more silent down the track, but right now that's where I'm at, and that's perfect. It fits in my life, and you get to really choose how you approach meditation. And for this just to bring a habit, all you need to do is 2 minutes. So it gets to be easy. We've all got 2 minutes spare in our day. We can do that. And it's just a really simple exercise. So you just watch your breath for 2 minutes, and that's it. Find somewhere really quiet where you won't be disturbed, and just watch your breath. Just notice it. If your attention wanders, bring it back to your breath. Just breathe in and breathe out. And you can really pay attention to how it feels. Go back to your senses as you're breathing, if that helps you, and do it for 2 minutes. If you want to do it for longer, by all means do it for longer, because it's amazing. And the more you do, the more benefits. It's really wonderful. But simply doing 2 minutes is going to start shifting something, and it's going to help you get to that happiness level. So I invite you to try that if you're not a meditator. If you already are, then awesome. Just commit even more, and commit to doing it every day, and let me know how you go. If there's challenges or things that you want some guidance on, I am here for you. Now, number 4 is a random act of kindness. And I've talked about kindness in a previous episode with you guys. So if you want to hear about that, head back to episode 4. And it's called Am I Being Kind? Which was another episode about a book by Michael Chase. And, kindness is a really big one. And random acts of kindness, doing kind things, are really proven to be beneficial to allowing you to feel joy and happiness. And so doing a random act of kindness every day is one of the 5 steps. Now, I know that can seem overwhelming in some ways, because what are you going to do? But it doesn't have to be spending money. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be as simple as writing a text message or a little note to someone and just telling them something you're grateful for that they've done for you, or giving them a compliment. Or maybe you just give a compliment to someone you see every single day, a different person, from a place of meaning, but it can still be on a whim. So there are so many things you can do, but Shawn recommends that you just at the start of your day, write a short, like, one-liner email to someone, telling them something you're grateful for about them, or what you're happy that they're in your life, or something you appreciate. So that is random acts of kindness. That is number 4. And the final thing for 5 habits for feeling more happy is exercise. So, exercise is something that you see everywhere as being really beneficial to your health. And it is. It acts like an antidepressant, and can really help you feel happier because of all the endorphins it releases. And all you need to do is do 15 minutes each day for the purpose of this. And it can be as simple as a fast walk. So a good pace, you get your heart rate up a little, just a walk, 15 minutes, and do it every day. Just start there. If you want to do more, do more. But the whole point of this is to make it manageable and to be able to do it every day, to be able to commit to it. So I really invite you to try that on. And so you have these five exercises, and the idea is that you want to be able to do them all every single day, but you don't have to start with all of them. Now, it takes 21 days to form a habit, so 21 days of repeating something is a really, really good way of bringing something into consistency in your life. So the suggestion for this is to start with one of these. So start with whichever one you like. Have a look at them and decide which one feels really good for you. Start there and just do that one thing for 21 days. And when you hit 21 days, add one more. And then after that 21 days, add one more, and slowly build up to 5. So this is like quite a long period of time, it's like 105 days. I think that's right, maths wise. I am not. I have never been the most adept at maths, so please forgive me if I get my calculations wrong, but that's a slow period of time. That's a good few months to build up to the 5. And really, to do this whole practice, it's going to take you like half an hour of your day to do all 5, realistically. You could stretch it to a bit longer, but I think half an hour would give you a really solid time frame. And I really believe that we get to give ourselves that half an hour, and we can do it. I think you can do it. I think I can do it. And, I'm navigating the waters of having a new baby and a cheeky little man who's 4 now. So, I really believe that you deserve to give yourself half an hour each day. And I really invite you to just build up. If you're ready to go all in and do all 5 from the start, then definitely do that. That's amazing. But if you're not, if you feel like that's too much of a stretch, start easy. Start at the start and build up, because it will be so worth it for you. So that's it. Those are the 5 happiness habits. Actually, is the 5 habits for happiness. And so just to recap, number 1 is gratitude. Number 2 is journaling. Number 3 is meditate. Number 4 is a random act of kindness. And number 5 is exercise. And just know that these 5 exercises are habit forming. And when you do this and you do the 21 days and this build up system that I've talked about, then you will start rewiring your brain. And that's awesome and really exciting. It rewires it for more happiness, more joy in your life. And that's the ultimate goal to me. Like, in my opinion, living a joyful life where you really feel and experience joy, that is the thing that matters more than anything. You can strive for success. You can strive for a lot of money. You can strive for all these things. But if you don't have that joy or that happiness, then what's the point? To me, I would rather feel happiness every single day than have all those other things. And I have vision and I have goals of these other things like success and great wealth and being really fit and healthy and all this stuff. But ultimately, it all comes back to feeling joy. It all comes back to feeling happiness. And that is the priority. That is front and center. And you deserve that, Know your value, know your worth, and get happy and feel joy. Those are central things, and they're really important to me. So I like to remind you of that, and I really, really invite you to feel into that. It reminds me of that saying, would you rather feel right? Would you rather be right or happy? And they've had so many moments where my ego's like really wanted to win, and I've got stuck in the pride. I've got stuck in the wanting to be right. But does it really matter? At the end of the day, wouldn't it be better to just be happy with whatever and not worry about that? Let go of that stress. Just let it wash off and fall away and be happy. Feeling happy. We all deserve to do that, and we all get to. And I invite you to try this and see what happens. And, I want to add as well, like, if you're really struggling and you feel really alone right now, get support. Get a counselor or a coach, or contact a suicide prevention hotline, or someone you can talk to, because you're not alone and you deserve to be supported. So please reach out for support if you need it, because it's really, really important. And I love you. Thank you so much for being here today. And just remember, get happy, feel joy, know your value, and know your worth. You deserve it. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you like it, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you love this episode, please give it an honest review on iTunes and let me know what you loved and what you want more of. Your feedback helps me truly elevate the show into something that really serves you and allows me to keep pouring my heart and soul into it. This is for you. Let's rise together. And remember, know your value, know your worth. I love you, beautiful soul.